Well, I think my background related to innovation really starts with my childhood and my mother, Adelaide Bree, who is my most important role model. I grew up outside of Philadelphia, and my parents got divorced when I was a teenager, and my mom went to work full-time at a large Philadelphia ad agency where she was paid less than the comparable men, and there was nothing she could do about it. Later, she went back to school, earned a master's in psychology, became a best-selling author and psychologist, and moved to San Diego after I did. She came here in the late 70s. And from my mom, I learned, first of all, that you could always reinvent yourself. And I learned, I think, to think in an innovative, entrepreneurial way, although I would never have used those words back then. And because of my mom, I, number one, believed I could succeed in the business world, and that's one of the reasons I went to Harvard and earned an MBA there in the mid-70s. And second, it's why I've devoted a large part of my life starting organizations that have empowered other women. I was a journalist early in my career, which was an unusual career coming out of Harvard Business School. And as a journalist, I think I always thought very entrepreneurial. I came up with my own story ideas. I covered economic issues in state government. I wrote about issues and topics that other journalists weren't covering. But I think I became more entrepreneurial when I joined the Connect program in 1986. It was then based at UCSD. It had been started to help launch high-tech and biotech companies. We considered ourselves to be an incubator without walls. And when I got to Connect, I was the number 2 person. Bill Otterson was the first executive director. We were told, well, this is what we want Connect to do by the board, but there was no structure in place. There was no money either. There had been some money that had been spent, and we had to figure out a business model, develop programs, and we were self-supporting. We did not get any money from the university or from the state of California. And that was my first sort of hands-on entrepreneurial experience. And then I left Connect about 10 years later and have been on the founding team of several companies. When I started at the Connect program in 1986, you could count the number of life science companies on 2 hands. And today we have hundreds. And we have industries we never dreamed of, cybersecurity, bioalgae, wireless health. I don't know that I didn't even know some of these words back then. Well, I knew health, but these are kinds of the words you would never have put them together. I certainly didn't know what bioalgae was. And I am the founder of Athena San Diego, which I started in the late 1980. Gosh, I started it in 1989 as an informal organization. It then became a formal organization about 7-8 years later, and it now has over 600 members, and it's the largest professional organization for women in the tech and life science community. And it's wonderful that over these years, the number of women in executive positions at these companies has increased. I don't have exact data, but I believe that there are more women in the life science sector than in the tech world. And I have friends like Karen Eastham, Tina Nova, Gail Naughton, who have Wendy Johnson, who have Magda Marquette. I could just name many, many more who have held very senior positions or been CEOs or founders of important life science companies in San Diego. So right now I'm a candidate for San Diego City Council District 1 and the election is in November. My district is the heart of our region's innovation economy. It includes La Jolla, University City, Carmel Valley, Del Mar Heights, and all of UCSD, one of our world's great research universities. It's clearly the heart of the biotech world. Illumina, the smartest company in the world, it's been named that by the MIT Research Review, is in my district. Human Longevity, J. Craig Venter's company, which just raised $220 million in venture capital and is on the forefront of personalized medicine, is in my district. Research institutes like Salk, Scripps, Sanford Burnham are in the district. And if I'm elected, I would be the first high-tech entrepreneur on the city council. And I think that's important because we need this world to continue to succeed if we're going to have the quality of life that we love about San Diego. These companies pay great salaries, they pay taxes, they spend a lot of money in our local economy, and of course, they make great scientific advances. So it is one of my priorities to make sure that this world continues to succeed. And it's also one of my priorities to make sure that the opportunities to participate in the innovation economy is available to people who live in all the communities in San Diego. Not just north of Interstate 8. And so I have ideas on how to create more robust internship programs for both high school students and college students, how to more effectively use our libraries as community centers of innovation. So those are some of the things I want to bring to City Hall. At the same time that I think we need to grow our own, I want to actively recruit outposts of Google, Facebook, and other companies to come to San Diego. They're not going to move their corporate headquarters here. Google is here already in a small way, and I understand we'll have a presence downtown starting in January. And I think that's very important for the credibility of San Diego and for the expansion of the innovation economy. I also want to see the innovation economy expand further downtown and south of downtown where land is cheaper. There are about 120 small software and e-commerce and IT companies downtown right now, and I would like that number can grow exponentially over the next few years if we do things right at City Hall and in our community. I think it starts when children are very young. First, having role models, and that's one place the libraries can play a role in terms of programming and bringing in speakers and having events in a community on a community level where it's very accessible. And also hopefully the schools will participate in this. So I think it's from a young age, girls seeing role models and understanding the coursework they're going to need to pursue if they want to have a career in STEM. And I think understanding the multiple kinds of careers that are available to them, which hopefully also, that's why I think internship programs, which probably can't start till high school, are very important. And I know Qualcomm has the Think A Bit Lab. They run summer programs. I've read about more and more organizations starting summer programs. I'd like to have girls clubs, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, all having badges focused on STEM, just sort of getting multiple places and touch points where children are exposed to what the opportunities can be and why it's exciting.